Okay, so my other bully story, not Chico. I had one more. Um, this was a black guy, and his name, well, he go by the name of Ernie, right? Not really a black name. I thought it was like a nickname, but they called him Ernie, and he was big. He wasn't like huge, but he was further along in physical development than I was. Put it that way, and I was in my sophomore year, right? I went to a lot of different schools, by the way. I went to like 8 different schools, and yeah, I was in high school, and where I lived in Phoenix, the, they would move people around. They called the magnet system. What they basically that meant is that there wasn't enough like white people in like the Bavario or like the ghetto schools. They would take white kids from the white neighborhoods and put their ass in the Bavario into the ghetto schools, so that there'd be a percentage of race that they had to have to qualify for school funding. Well, that sounds like a great plan and all right, except these black kids and these Mexican kids didn't appreciate 200 white kids showing up the next year, like out of nowhere. Like these kids, the white kids, nobody went to school with these white kids. There's like 200. I was just like, bam, have fun. It's like, all right, you know. Anyway, at my locker, this black dude, he had a locker next to me, right? And motherfucker asked me for like a quarter, right? Asked for a quarter, and I was like, nah, I don't got a quarter. And then he asked me for a quarter. He just kind of eyeballed me and give me the stink eye. You know. Next day, the same thing. Asked for a quarter. He's like, nah, I don't have a quarter. And when I turned around, he like fucking punched me in the back of the head. Not real hard, but hard enough that like, made me scared of the guy, right? And again, he's bigger than me, right? In sophomore year, I was, I had like long hair and shit and fucking Metallica shirt or whatever. Anyway, it wasn't really a fighter, and he was a big black dude. Scared me, and I was already scared to be in a school that had a lot of black people in it. Cause that's not was not used to that, right? So I was already kind of on. My anxiety was already peaking. So next day, he asked me for a quarter, or the next time I saw him, right, which would have been like shortly later. Same thing, asked me for a quarter, right? And at this point, I'm trying to find a different locker. I'm trying to avoid the lockers, but eventually you run into him, right? I don't even remember if it was at the locker, actually. It might have been in the bathroom or something. Anyway, I crossed past him somewhere. And asked for a quarter. So I gave him a quarter, right? He walked away. Next day, he asked me for 50 cents. And the next time I saw him, right? So I have 50 cents. And then he punched me in the face, right? Not super hard, but hard enough to get my attention. And I was still selling acid, right? And I was buying it from these fucking skinheads. These like white power skinheads. And I would have been 15. And these skinhead guys are probably, I don't know, early 20s. Typical run of the mill white trash skinheads, white power skinheads. I wasn't running with the white power kids. I was just, that's who had the acid and they liked me for some reason. It's a different story altogether. But anyway, I was picking up some acid, right? And the guy hit me hard enough where I had like a little mark and a bruise. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like, but it was noticeable. I had a little black eye. The dude, I was picking up acid from the big skinhead dude. I forget his name, but he was just like, fuck, what happened to you? And I told him the story. And of course he's like, well, fucking niggers. Don't let no nigger punch you. He's going off like that. And, he's like, I'm taking you to school. And I'm just like, fuck, right? And I don't want any part of this thing. You know what? This is just going to go all bad. And so I talk him into not doing anything, and he hands me like this billy club. It was like a baton, like from the English police they used to carry, like those billy clubs. It was basically that. And he goes, put this in your locker. Next time he asks you for money, say, yeah, I do. And pull that billy club out as he thinks you're going to give him money and hit him in the face with it. I was like, dude, no fucking way, man. That guy's going to kill me. He's like, no, he won't. No, he won't. He's going to be bleeding and he's going to be scared of you after that. It's like, man, and I did not want to do this, but I didn't see any end to the terror, right? I mean, I tried even talking to school security. They didn't give a fuck, right? They're just like, whatever, white boy. So I was like, all right. So I did it. I had my billy club in the locker. I think he asked me for $1, whatever it was, right? He kept upping it, and he asked me for money, and I was scared as hell, right? But I figured I was gonna do this and never go back to school ever again, right? So I did it. I opened my locker, I said, yeah, hold on. I had a book, pulled out a book, and in my other hand, my left-handed, bam, hit him right across the nose, bridge of the nose, right in the face. Just as my friend said, dude fell on his knees, fucking bleeding, holding his face, and I fucking ran. That's what I did. And yeah, that's what happened. And what ended up happening after that, I never went back to that school again. That's what happened. So yeah, I went to another school after that. That's my big bully story.